Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Big Shot. This is a series that I imagine appears somewhere else because apparently two seasons are out, 10 episodes each. It started in 2021. It's a drama. It's a sports drama. Each of the episodes are about 45 minutes each or so. It's standard. Yeah. I only watched the pilot, the first episode. And so far, only 10 episodes are on. The first season is on Disney Plus. So if this is on like Freeform or I don't know, whatever they call half their channels now, uh, yeah, this is. We only got half of it so far on Disney Plus. This is a series about high school basketball, girls basketball, in fact, and about a coach named Marvin, played by John Stamos, Uncle Jesse from Full House. He used to be a. This is kind of a trope with a lot of sports movies where they go from a place of high regard, they're well known, they're famous, they're influential. Well, Marvin used to coach men's basketball in college in Wisconsin, I guess, and he does something. He ticks off the wrong people, throws enough chairs, and he loses his job. And one of his buddies gets him the best thing available, and that is a job coaching a girls' basketball team at a private school in California, in a realm he's very not familiar with girls who are very aware of who they are and very aware of. Let's just say they're not easily steamrolled by a man. They have their own issues. They have their own mindsets, and they're very different from his. So he's could be called a bit of a misogynist to a certain degree, but I think I mean that's part of his evolution. He's not the kind of misogynist we would have seen as if this was made in the 80s or 90s or even the 2000s. This is much more, and I hate using this word, I hate it so much. It's a bit more woke, and I know that'll just annoy half the people, I don't know who watches this, but it'll annoy different people for different reasons for the use of that word. But, I mean, it's going to be reflective of California, it's going to be reflective of high school, of a generation, is it Z now? Can we go? Is there anything past Z? I don't know. It's reflective of the culture at the time, and he is very much used to coaching boys, young men in college, who handle criticism a very different way. Not okay. Yeah, no, a very different way. Yeah, and these girls, young women, are. They stand up to him. One in particular, whose dad, uh, whose name literally is on the name of the gymnasium where they practice. It's a private school, rich kids. So she figures she can get special treatment. He shows her otherwise, and it causes even more problems for him. And that's just in the pilot episode. He also has to deal with his assistant coach, who is a woman who I don't know if she used to have his job and she got demoted or what, but she has to deal with him and how they can work with these girls. She becomes sort of a buffer between the two to a certain degree, but he still tends to be a bit brash, and he does honestly want to coach right, wants to train them right, wants to do the right thing, but he has to be a bit more, not subtle, but at least, and I guess sensitive might be the term, because he is so used to an abusive way of speaking, and also a physical way of expressing his emotions about certain when things don't go his way. So when he's up against teenage girls, he is it's not something you can just blow off and everybody's gonna be like, oh well, he's just a coach. There's points where he has to Well, the show, as it goes along, even just in the first episode, it reveals more about each of the girls, not just him. It's not just about John Stamos' character. Uh, it shows that the girls are very unique in different ways. They have their own internal conflicts with each other, with their intentions at school, their intentions with family, and how they handle things, and the reason why they're even on the basketball team. Some of them really don't even want to be there. They just know they have to do it in order to get into a college, and or because their parents pressure them, or whatever reason. And he makes. By the way, this opens so many doors for things to be look or appear inappropriate, even if they aren't. Like when he has to talk to one of the girls in her car after she almost runs him over. Um, when he has to sit down in the car and have a conversation with her, and she's on the team, the principal, played by Yvette Nicole Brown, you might know her from Community and Talking Dead, and she's on so many other things. She's been on so many different shows, game shows and TV shows and talk shows and everything else, but she's everywhere. So Yvette Nicole Brown is the woman in charge of this school, and she sees him getting out of this girl's car, and she's like, "Optics, looks really bad." Well, yeah, it does look really bad. That doesn't, if anybody saw that and complained or questioned it or everything else, it would look like there was something inappropriate happening between him and his student. And there's no telling that storyline might happen at some point, but it seems like the easy tabloidy type way of doing things, because he honestly isn't having an affair with a student, even though she does make an inappropriate comment toward him at upon first meeting him while he introduces himself to the team. And she does it because she believes she can get away with anything. So the reason why he is a little bit more sensitive, we discover in his conversations with the coach, the assistant coach, that he thinks only in terms of basketball. He is truly a non-personable guy. He doesn't seem to have friends. He at first appears to not have any family. He's divorced, and he's a tactical person. If anything, he'd be one of the Vulcans of basketball coaches, or maybe Romulan, because he's really emotional and a bit more violent. That's my nerdy comment of the day about basketball coaching. No, he sees everybody as basketball, as in basketball terms. He's very focused in that realm. If you do not help to improve the team in some way, you don't really serve a purpose, and that he begins to see that separates him in many ways. And this is all about him. I mean, it's not all about him, but I mean, his storyline, it is more about him learning empathy and learning to connect with these girls, obviously, as you would with any movie or TV show or any sports thing you've ever seen, where the coach comes from a rough past. We saw this a couple days ago with Cool Runnings, with John Candy was a teacher. I mean, not a teacher, but he was a coach, an athlete also, but he was an athlete who he fell from lofty heights and became a Jamaican bobsled coach, which people thought was beneath him because Jamaican bobsledders. Anyway, so yeah, this is about the evolution of these characters, and believe it or not, John Stamos is very much not Uncle Jesse in this, so it's interesting to see him in a different light. Not that I really watched a whole lot of Full House growing up, because I was grown up at that point, I think. So, so yeah, I actually like this. I don't really care about basketball, much less girls basketball. I honestly, it's well acted, it's well shot, it's all single camera, usually handheld, moving through a lot of the shots when they get the conversations between the actors. Between the characters, and yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for this. I'd add it to my must-watch list, but I already have a crap load of stuff on there already. But I think that I would enjoy watching more of this, but it's not a priority for me. So I think it's good. I think if this is things you like, if you like John Stamos, if you like basketball, and if you like sort of adult and teen dramas, it's a mixture of both. It's very much a drama. There are humorous moments throughout, of course, and of course, if you love sports dramas, this is definitely something that's worth checking out. It's not bad at all, which I never thought I'd say about a sports drama. Like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, the sports dramas that we see normally, this like Cool Runnings or Remember the Titans, things like that. Those things are made within their 2 hour slot, hour and a half slot, to take you from point A to point B with an inspiring, just build up where the team overcomes everything that set them apart, and there's a montage at some point, training montage. So they're emotionally manipulative, and they work that way. That's just how they work, and that's understandable. This does not have that same path, but I think overall will, in a sense. Eventually, you'll see him super connecting with the girls in a way that he never expected. One of the things that I totally skipped over this, but one of the things that makes him begin to become empathetic to the girls is we realize that his family life is almost non-existent until we realize he has a daughter, a teenage girl. So I think his estranged teenage daughter, who I imagine lives with her mother back in the Midwest or wherever she is, like many hours different, is the bridging point that makes him go, okay, I can connect with these girls. I must connect with these girls. It just if I'm a jerk, it's like I'm being a jerk to my own daughter. That's not right. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. And I forgot this thing decided to poop out on me. Oh, right? Wait, hold on. I forgot where I'm at, what I'm doing. Come on. So John Stamos in a drama. Come on. I kind of forgot tomorrow is yeah. I'm at Celebration already. Tomorrow is the premiere of Obi-Wan Kenobi. 2 episodes. So I will be doing that whenever I happen to see it. There's a chance we might see it early. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm not sure exactly where I'll be doing that review from. It all depends on when and where I can get to a point where I can film something. We'll see. But yeah. And then there'll be a few more surprises after that. But tomorrow, the premiere, we're going to be looking at the premiere, at least the first episode, if not both. I'm sure both of them I'll find accessible on Friday at some point if I'm not too crazy busy. It's a crazy week already. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge tomorrow. May the Force be with you.